Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I just want to give a brief overview of where I've been and what I've been up to and what I've been doing recently. So it's been about a year since I've made a video or uploaded a video to YouTube, and I've been away for quite some time, and that's mainly because I've been focusing on my uni work. So I've just completed my last year of university and it's been really difficult. I've been working full-time as well, and I also started two businesses that I've been running over the past year alongside that. So I'm going to update you on what I'm driving now, and I'll be uploading some more videos later because this one will just be more of an overview rather than going really in depth into the car and the details about it. This car I'm sat in now is a 2011 BMW 320i, and it's a petrol model, a 2-litre petrol, and it produces about 170 horsepower. So I'll show you the car and give you a bit of a walk around as well. This is a two-door BMW 320i. It's the LCI model. So I think the ones from 2010 came with the facelift. I've got the Living Life Fast sticker there. If you don't follow Living Life Fast, or if you aren't subscribed to his YouTube videos, I'll leave the link in the description. You can get some good discounts for being part of that group. Filming quite close to City Airport today, so there's quite a bit of noise in the background. So the car's been great so far. There's only been a couple of things that I've had to do on it, and it's been pretty much mostly related to the engine. As you can probably see down here, the wheels are not in great condition at all. I actually really like the colour. It was part of what made me pick this car over a few very similar ones that were on Auto Trader at the time, and also this only had one previous owner. But yeah, I like the colour of these wheels, but they haven't been painted professionally. The paint is chipping off in some places like here, and I've actually managed to curb this wheel really badly. So I think either tomorrow or the day after, I'm booking to get these refurbished and powder coated professionally. And I'm also, if I get the opportunity, the brake calipers don't need painting, they still look good, but these wheel nuts are rusty and horrible. So I'm gonna go over and paint those as well, make sure the car is in good condition. Paint work, I've been trying to take care of it. There's a few spots here and there, so that were here when I bought it. So there's a few scratches on the body here. I don't know how they managed to do that. Maybe they were holding a key, previous owner was holding a key when they opened the car or something, but it's overall in pretty good condition. When the sun comes out, you can see some swirl marks on the body of the car, so I think it would benefit from a professional detail rather than just my polishing at home. But even with the polishing work that I've done to it, the shine is pretty decent now. The interior is almost standard, but for those of you who are keen-eyed would have noticed this sat-nav is not standard at all, and this is a unit that I bought from China. I'll leave the link in the description if any of you are interested in it. It took me a few hours, maybe like 5 or 6 hours to fit it properly, and then almost a day, an entire day of configuration to get it working the way it should be. So it's running Apple CarPlay at the moment. You've got all your CarPlay features on here and CarPlay apps, and it works really smoothly. I love it. Everything is just how you want it to be. And then besides the CarPlay, you've got an Android interface as well. Let me shut the door. You've got an Android interface, which is controlled by this aftermarket controller down here. If I hit the menu button, that will take me back to the original menu that comes on this. Got built-in Bluetooth there and some more interfaces. You can watch videos on here, play music or load music in from a USB stick. You've got a dashboard, and then if I hit apps here, you've got your standard Android app store, which you can connect to the internet if you have a Wi-Fi dongle, or even hotspot it from your phone if you want to. So I used to use Waze on here before I fitted CarPlay. CarPlay is actually powered by a dongle inside the glove box, which just connects up into the USB ports I've got in there. This is the CarPlay dongle. I think it was about $120 from America. This came, and it's been absolutely fantastic. The only issue I've had with it is sometimes there's a bit of a lag, maybe a 1 to 2 second lag in the audio that comes through from it. So that's been a pain with phone calls and stuff like that. But if you plug it into there's a USB port here. If you want to use the wired lightning cable, if you plug that into your iPhone, that gets rid of that lag and you don't have that issue. So yeah, the sat-nav has really transformed the way I feel about this car. And before fitting it, I already liked the car. This has really improved the experience a lot. The interior in general, I'm very impressed with the build quality. I don't think it's as good as the likes of Mercedes from the same year. So the W204 C-Class Coupe, that will be the main competitor of this car. I think that interior is better than this, but I like the layout of this. I like the way BMW place the buttons in the cars and really make them very functional. Also, the seats are electrically operated. I wish this folding feature here, this the button and latch, what's it called? I wish this mechanism to get into the back was electric as well, but maybe I'm asking for too much. So one of the advantages I'm enjoying with this car over the 1 Series that I had before, I had an E87 2006 1 Series before this one. It's the space. So the 3 Series does have a lot of room inside it. There's a lot of room in the back here as well. If you're a passenger, my passengers never have trouble with getting into this car. And even with my seat all the way back, there's still a lot of legroom for them. In my old car, I always had to adjust that seat every time someone wanted to sit behind me because there was just no room at all. Besides that, the build quality is decent. There were some rattles when I picked up the car from the dealer and they were coming from inside the engine bay. There was I think it was beneath the airbox, the air intake, that it was touching against the body of the car. So maybe someone had done some work there before, removed the bit or something like that. But I think as standard, that wouldn't be an issue. Other rattles I've experienced, other niggles I've experienced have been with these seatbelt extenders. So I've just opened the door to demonstrate another thing that wasn't working properly when I picked up this car, that seems to have just fixed itself. I think maybe from driving it and sitting in it every day, it started working properly. The seatbelt extenders here, these weren't working properly when I picked it up. It kept on falling off, and I think the solution is to iron them. I didn't actually end up ironing the seat belts, but they've just started working fine again anyway, which is cool. And yeah, I haven't had any other issues with maybe cosmetically with the car or comfort wise. Engine wise, I've had some issues with the injectors. They needed changing at some points. When I first picked up the car, for some reason it would start fine when it was cold, but when it was warm it barely started. And obviously usually that's an issue that the dealer would sort out, but the dealer I bought this car from didn't want to help me at all. So rather than even just risking it, taking it back to them and getting them to fit some rubbish parts into it, I decided to go and find some new injectors after troubleshooting the issue, and a good friend of mine helped me fit them. Cold starting, I did have some issues again with the engine oil pressure switch. That started going bad, so every time I wanted to start the car when it was cold, sometimes it would hesitate or take longer than usual, crank longer than usual, until the car eventually fired up. But I got that issue sorted. I had oil pressure switch changed. I also had a secondary oil service done at the same time. So I've been servicing this car more than usual, more than required, because of the I think the service intervals that BMW advertised for this car are probably a bit too long, and that's kind of been evident in the issues that people have experienced with this particular engine further on down the line. Once you're hitting the 100,000 mile mark, a lot of people have had various problems with this engine, and most of them can be avoided by servicing thoroughly and servicing every couple thousand miles rather than like every 10-15,000 miles that's advertised in the service schedule. So I've been trying to take really good care of this car and treat it as well as I can, just so that it lasts me a good while. So talking about lasting a long while, I'm really still not decided how long I want to keep this car for. At the moment, there's still some other financial commitments that I've been saving for, but other than that, I feel like I might be getting a bit bored with the engine of the car. Everything else I'm really enjoying. It's just the performance that it's not really giving me what I want. When I was going for this, it was actually between this car or the BMW 530i that I also wanted. I was going to go for 2009 530i, and the insurance on that just worked out way too much for this. So I thought, let me just go for a coupe, live the two-door lifestyle, but also just settle for that 2-litre engine because it made sense insurance wise, and I wasn't just going to go way above my budget just so that I could justify that. So some of you might be wondering, how come you didn't just go for the 2006 or any like 2006 to 2008 or 9 model of this car, and I might have been able to afford that 3-litre engine. It was mainly due to the insurance costs. No matter which year I was choosing to get for 3-litre in this car, the insurance was just so much higher than to go for this 2-litre one. And also, besides that, I really like the difference that the LCI upgrade has made to this particular model. Even though the shape of the lights is a minor change between this 2011 model and the pre-LCI one that came before it, I really enjoy I'm really enjoying the look of this one in comparison to the older model. Another thing that I really loved about this car was the swooping LED light bars down here, and I really don't know why on the newer 3 Series and 4 Series they didn't include this in the initial launch of them. It had normal bulbs here. This is pretty much no bulbs at all, only the reversing light is a bulb, everything else is just LEDs down here, and it looks amazing, especially at night time when you're looking at the car from behind. It's fantastic. Another thing I don't like about this car is the sound of it. So there's just really no sound at all, if I can put it that way. It's very muted. It's quieter than my old car, which had less power than it. I think there's just a lot of muffling in the exhaust system. There's a lot of sound restricting that's taking place going between the engine and back to the end of the exhaust pipe. It's very quiet. I think someone who isn't familiar with the sound of these engines would probably even struggle to tell whether it's a petrol or diesel. It's that quiet. When you're driving along, you can hear the engine in the interior when you're going, but if you drive past people or you're standing outside a car and you're revving it, for example, there's pretty much nothing coming out of it. So that was a big disappointment when I picked it up. I know it could possibly be improved by the addition of an M Sport exhaust, but I can't really justify the cost on this car, especially when the performance isn't there to just get a little bit more sound out of the engine. I think if it was a slightly bigger engine, it would sound better in general. So let me just talk a bit about one of my businesses. One of them is a retail company and the other is a motor trading company. So I had to register this just so I could have access to buy cars at auction and also sell them off. And the aim of this has been really to try and get access to cars that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to purchase and use. So if I'm able to buy and sell cars, then I can also bring in more interesting cars for the channel as well, make videos of more cars rather than just the car that I'm driving at the moment. So that's something I've been putting a bit more effort into. I've got one car at home at the moment. I've got an A4 Estate. I think it's a 2006 model. And I think once I've sold that off, or I'll be trying to show you some more videos on the DIY that I do on the rest of the cars that I buy, and also the process that I usually go through, making sure that they're driving well, servicing them, etc. From my view counts on YouTube so far, it seems that the DIY videos that I've done have been the ones that you guys have enjoyed the most. But if you have suggestions of the type of content that you want from me, please let me know. You can message me, DM me on Instagram, drop a comment in the description, and I will reply to you. So if it's a great idea and something I can run with, hopefully it'll result in a new video. So before I go on too much, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. And if you're not subscribed, please do, because I'm going to be uploading more soon. And also, if you're not following me on Instagram, I usually post quite a bit there in my story that's car related. Please do. I'll leave my Instagram username in the description below, so you can check that out, and posts and photography on my page as well. So I've got a few photos of the car that I upload on there too. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a good one.